Penn State just got incredible training camp news. Let's talk about it. My name's Paul.
And I'm Aaron.
And we are the Big Ten guys. Tune in daily for news, insight, analysis, anything you could ever want Big Ten football. This is the channel for you. So, Aaron, tell them what they need to do.
Guys, all you got to do is simple. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and hit the like button. For goodness sakes, it's August. College football is right around the corner.
Less than 3 weeks.
Less than 3 weeks. Don't miss out. Hit that button so you don't miss out on all the news. So today, in particular, training camp. There's been a lot of players, I would say, that were off the radar and have been making a big splash at training camp. Specifically, we look at the tight end position. And I know a lot of people are like, well, Tyler Warren, he's gone now. He is. That's true. And that's a huge part of the Nittany line offense they had last year. But moving into this year at the tight end position, they have Khalil Dinkins. Khalil Dinkins has really turned it up when it comes to camp so far. As well, on Bruce Feldman's freak list, he's made it. What's crazy, 6'4", 250. You guys know that. Fifth-year senior. At that size, runs a 4.5. Ridiculous. But also on top of that, preseason watch list for the Mackey Award given to the best tight end in the country. Now, again, Tyler Warren is huge shoes to fill, Paul. But I think that Dinkins has potential. Drew Aller there. Other wide receivers we're going to jump into in a minute that are going to help, obviously, because there's some great transfers that are going to come in. So it's going to make it more difficult on the offense to have an opportunity like Dinkins to slip in and get some solid catches under his belt. But Paul, what are your thoughts on Dinkins in the Nittany Lions?
I think it is huge to hear this because everything we've been hearing in the offseason has been Penn State, like, yeah, they're bringing back Aller and their running backs are amazing, but Tyler Warren was such a big part of the offense. There's just no way this offense is going to be the same without Tyler Warren. But everything we're hearing from camp is that Dinkins looks like a stud. 4.5 40 for somebody that size is absolutely ridiculous. And then, the way Penn State lined Tyler Warren up everywhere last year, like, that was so unique, and you don't see that from a lot of tight ends, so it was hard to imagine that anybody was athletic enough to replace that. But if he's running like that seems like another guy that you can line up in the backfield. You can line up at receiver. Obviously, he's going to line up at tight end. Like, it seems like this Penn State offense is going to be able to be every bit as versatile as they were last year, but then Aller should be better. The running backs are bigger, faster, stronger than they've ever been. The receivers are going to be better this year. And I think Dinkins, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to be Tyler Warren.
No.
He was 1 in a million, but I think he's going to be close enough that this offense is going to be even more electric than last year.
100%. And you look at his stats from last year, again, nothing sexy, but you have to take it with a grain of salt, knowing that Tyler Warren was a huge percentage of that offense. And so Dinkins stepping in, I think he can make a huge impact for this Nittany Lions team. Again, the wide receiver core, you have Pena that's coming from Syracuse, you have Ross from Troy, and then Hudson as well, which we'll talk about in a second, from USC. Again, there's a lot of great options in the air for Aller, especially obviously Singleton and Allen coming out of the backfield that can also catch. So this offense, though Warren is gone, I think is going to be better.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a pick your poison kind of offense where, these running backs, I might go out on a limb and say they might be even better than Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins were at Ohio State. Like, they are that good.
Yeah.
And every team is going to want to key in on them. But when you got the receivers being better this year and you got Dinkins looking like a stud, this offense is just going to be so versatile. And then just looking elsewhere in camp, it sounds like true freshman Kobe Howard has been super impressive, as well as Hudson, like Aaron said, out of USC. And that is all just incredible news for Penn State fans, because that's really the one thing the offense didn't have last year, was a super reliable group of receivers, and it sounds like that's going to be different this year.
should be a lot different. And for Drew Aller to have, again, multiple options through the air is going to be huge. And especially, too, having a player like Kobe Howard come in and obviously give these transfer guys, these other guys, some competition and a push is only going to bring out the best in these guys. So
iron
again,
sharpens iron.
yeah, that's right, baby. And so we are incredibly high. If you've watched any of our videos on Penn State, we are incredibly high on the Nittany Lions. Even so much so, we were surprised that in the coaches poll they had them at 3, not at number 1. That was a whole different thing. If you didn't see that, we can plug that video at the end of this and you can watch it. We talk about all kind of the ups and downs of the coaches poll. But again, AP poll should be coming out soon, and we'll see if that is any different from the coaches poll. But a lot of things, a lot of great things coming out of camp, especially on the offensive side of the ball for the Nittany Lions. So comment below, what do you think of this receiving core, including Dinkins? Who are you most excited to see? Because obviously there's a lot of new faces. Who, as a Nittany Lions fan or any fan of just college football, are you excited to see for the Nittany Lions this year? Comment below. Now, as well, just because if you've watched any of our episodes before, we like talking odds. Mm-hmm. So we pulled up the latest Penn State football betting odds for 2025. There's been some little changes here and there. The odds for them to win the college football playoff was at plus 750, now plus 700. Again, if you don't understand what that means, you have to, you bet $100, you win $700. That's simple.
So moving in the right direction. I mean, that tells you that Vegas sees, you know what, maybe Penn State is a little better than we thought after watching training camp in the beginning of the season. They're moving in the right direction. But then it looks like minus 290 to make the playoffs. So when you see that minus, that means you have to bet $290 to win 100. So they're saying it is far more likely that Penn State makes the playoffs than that they miss it. And then as well, favorite in every single one of their games except for Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And that one, obviously, it's in Columbus, but I think they have the Buckeyes as a 2.5-point favorite.
Yep. And you look at odds to win the Big Ten title, that's plus 220. So behind only, obviously, Ohio State, which Paul talked about, the only game they're not favored in. And then you have Oregon, and then a little bit behind is Michigan, Illinois. And so, again, people might say, well, Aaron, these are just, Paul and Aaron, these are just odds. Who cares? You know, there's a reason Vegas is in business.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. They make a lot of money because people see something like this and they're like, oh, no way, I'm taking these odds, you know, whatever. And they're totally wrong. But I think that this is pretty spot on with the Nittany Lions, and it's going to be good for them.
Yeah, something crazy I noticed, if you scroll down a little bit here, is they have Penn State as a 6.5-point favorite against Oregon.
Wow.
So they're giving Penn State pretty much a full touchdown at home against Oregon. And that, like, people are pretty high on Oregon, too. I know they've lost a lot of people, but they brought in some ridiculous transfers. Mm-hmm. They got Dante Moore, should be a really good quarterback. To have Penn State as almost a full touchdown favorite in that game just shows how highly Vegas thinks of them. And then, as well, 10.5 points on the road against Iowa, battling those pink locker rooms and everything. Iowa, like, that's one of the toughest places to play. And then 16.5 points against Indiana,
crazy.
who was a playoff team last year.
That's crazy.
Like, they don't think Penn State's just going to meander through their Big Ten schedule. They're predicting them to handily win against ranked opponents. So, a lot of respect coming from Vegas.
And that Oregon game, too, you look at Oregon, and as Paul said, they have Dante Moore, which is great, and they have Decorian Moore, the freshman wide receiver who's supposed to make a huge splash in Eugene. But being a freshman, I cannot imagine going into Happy Valley on a whiteout and trying to leave with a win. So you look at that spread, and it makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. And so, there's other teams too. Iowa should be on the up this year. Indiana, I don't think is necessarily going away from what they did last year. I think they're still going to be pretty good. But it just shows how highly Vegas has the Nittany Lions. So only good for them.
Yeah, future's bright.
Future
Should be a really fun year.
Future is bright. So again, our questions of all the receivers, who are you most excited for to watch this season? What are your thoughts on the odds? I don't know. Comment whatever the heck you want.
Yeah, give us your favorite Penn State bets this year. We might even make some of them.
We might.
Yeah, and then just don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got a lot more great Big Ten and Penn State content coming.
But if we make one of your bets and we lose, we want our money back.
Yeah, we'll bill you for it.
We'll bill you for it. We'll talk later. Peace.
See ya.